Welcome back to CSF. Today we'll be talking about NFTs, what they are, how they work, and potential future use cases for them. If you enjoyed Ready Player One, you're going to enjoy today's episode. Let's start off with getting an overview from CNBC.
Collectors have long been willing to shell out huge sums of money on unique items such as paintings, baseball cards, and vintage cars. But now, collectible items have moved into the digital space in the form of NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. So what exactly are NFTs, and why are they suddenly being sold for millions? NFTs, known as nifties by insiders, are a type of digital asset. Ownership of these tokens is recorded on a blockchain, a digital ledger using similar technology to the networks that underpin Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But unlike currencies, where every token is of equal value and could be swapped for any other, NFTs have unique qualities which stop them from being interchangeable or fungible. You can think of them like the crypto alternative to rare Pokemon or baseball cards. And just like the traditional art market, NFTs are often sold at auction, with prospective buyers bidding against each other until a price is reached. The rise of the internet meant that images, videos and songs could be reproduced and distributed infinitely online, often without any royalties being paid to their creators. And even tech giants such as YouTube and Spotify have faced criticism for not compensating artists sufficiently for their work. Proponents of NFTs say they address this problem by allowing ownership to be recorded on the blockchain, preventing unlimited reproduction or piracy, and enabling creators to reap the financial rewards. Rock band Kings of Leon sold NFTs over 2 weeks in March 2021, which gave buyers access to a deluxe form of their album for $50, whilst also auctioning off an even more exclusive version limited to just 18 copies. In the same month, the NFT of Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's first tweet sold for nearly $3 million to Sina Estavi, a Malaysia-based crypto entrepreneur. Meanwhile, art dealers are also getting in on the action, with auction house Christie's running an auction for a virtual work from the artist Beeple, which eventually sold for nearly $70 million. But NFTs aren't a totally new phenomenon. CryptoKitties, a virtual pet game based on the blockchain Ethereum, was so popular in 2017 that they clogged up the network of the cryptocurrency Ether. To date, these colourful online cats have generated sales of over $40 million. So, why are we hearing so much about NFTs now? The coronavirus pandemic played a big role in the NFT boom. In 2020, the total value of NFT transactions quadrupled to $250 million, and the market looks set to grow further in 2021. That's in no small part because of stay-at-home restrictions that resulted in most people spending a lot more time on the internet, and many having spare cash on hand as in-person spending opportunities were limited. It's a trend with parallels in the rise of retail traders betting on GameStop and other historically unloved stocks promoted on the Reddit board Wall Street Bets. The craze also arrives at a time when Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have surged in value, with Bitcoin briefly reaching a record high price of over $60,000 in March 2021. Many NFTs are priced in Ether, the digital token of the Ethereum blockchain. That currency hovered around $2,000 in February 2021, before losing nearly a third of its value in a matter of days, reminding investors of cryptocurrency's wild volatility. Many investors are buying NFTs as a speculative investment, hoping to flip them at a much higher price than they originally paid. But a growing number of people are also holding NFTs long-term as collectibles. Major brands including the NBA and Formula One have launched projects centered around NFTs which can be collected or traded. And people are also finding other uses for NFTs such as virtual real estate and video games. Nevertheless, the NFT space has been met with skepticism from some creators and investors. Critics view it as another crypto fad that will eventually drift into irrelevance, while there are also concerns about the carbon emissions needed to generate these tokens. But expect to hear more about NFTs so long as collectors are willing to buy them. Thank you so much for watching. Would you buy an NFT? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.
In short, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. What is that? NFTs are data on a blockchain that can represent physical as well as digital assets. Why is that important? Well, previously, we had to have third parties as intermediaries to write these contracts. Now what we have are actually smart contracts, which are developed in the crypto space, in blockchain. Why is that important? Is because now you can get rid of the middlemen. You don't, just like currencies being able to move from one part of the world to the next without having any banks in between, the same thing can happen with contracts. So with real estate agents, potentially, with insurance agents, and there's different kinds of third parties that may no longer be necessary in the future. However, it is quite more impressive than just getting rid of people, because it also adds the ability to move different types of mediums within the data. So art is one, digital art. You also have video game assets such as perhaps characters, items, different types of functions that can have. Since everything is recorded on the blockchain, all the history of items, usage, who used what tournament was used when, did they win, did they lose. So there's a lot of value to these quote unquote collectibles that are being produced on the NFT type of genre. And it's very, very interesting since we're still early in the space. There's so much room for growth. There's so many use cases that haven't even appeared yet. But what's interesting is that NFTs work with smart contracts. And what that entails is it's pretty much the same thing as a contract without the middleman. Because everything that you would normally get in a handwritten physical contract is written in the code already. So that is amazing. So if you're a content creator, if you're someone that produces music, if you're someone that creates art, you can sell a digital or data version of your artwork, and it's verifiable by the creator from where it came from. Currently, right now, we have these amazing works of art in museums, and personally, I don't know if they're original. Like, I'm not an art historian or anything like that, so I can enjoy looking at the Mona Lisa or these amazing paintings that we've had done in the past. But how do I know if they're even real, if they're legitimately the ones that were originally created? How do I know they're not fakes? It wasn't stolen. They're not duplicates. So to avoid all that type of, I guess, thoughts, are those negative thoughts, it'll be verifiable on the blockchain. So you can see who created what, when was it created. And it's very interesting to see us take this approach to how we become comfortable with technology, as well as security, as well as verifiability, if that's a word. I think it's a word. So let's check out a few other things that are going on in this space with NFTs. So we have this artist, Banksy, that I believe his artwork originally was worth, here we go, $95,000. And what was done is his original artwork here, now you can see it being burned, was burned not before being created into an NFT, a non-fungible token, into a digital form. And you can actually see the video here of the burning of this $70,000 piece. Now, when it was burned, the actual value went up to $382,000. Why? Well, one, it's verifiable. If the content creator has value, then what he creates will probably be valuable to somebody. That is interesting because that shows us, personally, I see an evolution of what we see in the world, or the way we see the world. Before, everything was all physical this, I want physical gold, I want physical money, I want physical that. And as time has progressed, we've begun to evolve in what I think some of us, I'm sure, like regressed into primordial states. But overall, I think humans are seeing things differently, in a different perspective, especially the young kids. Now we have items and weapons that they can buy, or characters that they can buy online, or through a platform. And all that is just value. Some people may think like, oh, there's nothing physical to it. That to me is incorrect. Value is what people believe in, like what belief that they think it's valued at, you know? So just like this artwork that was digitized, even the physical form was just a piece of paper and just ink. but the value was created by the belief or maybe something that the art represents to somebody. So that's where the value is. It's intrinsic in the form that people believe what its value actually is. So this is very interesting because, like I said, from a $95,000 painting, it jumped up to $382,000. It is no longer available in its physical form. It was burned live. If the Mona Lisa, like the same thing happened to the Mona Lisa, I wouldn't do it because I think the Mona Lisa is crazy the way it is. It looks badass. It was made for that. But we seem to be transitioning into a different type of medium for the future. So that's just interesting to see. And there's a lot of blockchains that have NFTs. Ethereum's probably the largest one. Tron just became one. We have Wax, and there's a bunch of various different blockchains that carry NFTs for sale or for trading and just different stuff. But the reason why I want to point out this NFT, well, yeah, it sold for $6 million, but that's not the reason I want to point it out, is because I find this NFT very interesting on the composition. So what a lot of people are talking about right now is that all these NFTs are 2D images. Why can't I just get a JPEG, copy and paste it? Like, yeah, you can get a JPEG and copy and paste it, but you're not actually getting the underlying data. One, you cannot have the data that is verifiable that it was made from the actual creator. Like, if I take a picture of the Mona Lisa, is it the Mona Lisa or just a picture of the Mona Lisa? You know, so some people are in agreement with they want physical, and some people say physical is old, and like this is the new way to I guess pass on art and see things. The reason why I like NFTs is because there's so much possibility. This piece of work to me is a 2D representation of something that was probably done using various mediums. I think there's, let me see if I can see it here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Beppel is the artist of this piece. And let me zoom in so you guys can take a look. Give me 1 second. So as you can tell down here, it was created using various tools, various types of mediums. So we have Cinema 4D, Octane Render, and Photoshop. So there's a mix of different types of programs and software used to create this 2D piece, which I find very interesting. The reason I say that is because let's say you have a digital form of this. You buy it for $6 million. You put it in your home, or let's say you put it in your digital home for VR. Because in the future, I think we're all going to become more immersed with technology rather than grow away from it. VR is still in its infancy stages, but with NFTs and stuff like this, I can see future growth, huge amounts of growth. So for any of you guys that ever played that Mario 64 game where you go into the castle and then you touch the paintings and you go into the levels, I think in the future that may be a real possibility. Say you have a bunch of these different artworks, and you kind of want to go there and relax or enjoy or see the visuals there that you actually bought. That's your place of zen. That's your place of thought. That's your whatever it is to you. You can physically be there. Well, you can digitally be there, but it feels like you maybe physically be there, since like your eyes and your senses get a better understanding of what's around you. Now, to get a better example, I actually got this video from Beppel, which is also the creator of this artwork. Give me 1 second. So what I found interesting is that he's a pretty crazy artist with some very unique type of work. So this is one of his art pieces. Let me pause it right here. So this piece originally you saw it as a 2D piece. However, it's like I said, it's a composite of different mediums, different types of software. So it was built in 3D, then it looks like it was painted over, and then it was composited in 2D. Why I said it's interesting is because you can do so much with this type of thing. You can go into different worlds from just looking at these NFTs, NFT artwork, these 2D images, animations, these even audio. You can sell audio through your NFT. All it is, it's data. How you want to structure that data is up to the creator, and whether you want to buy it is up to the buyer. So it's very, very interesting. So what I want to come to next is another form of NFT, which is the Lindsay Lohan NFT that happened recently. And I'm not a fan of Lindsay Lohan. However, the technology that was used is very interesting because her new song was released as an NFT. Not only did you get the music, not only did you get this visual that she has, but you also got the rights to it, which is extremely interesting to me because now future content creators can buy or sell certain things from their music to other people. And it's not just the song, but the rights is what I found extremely interesting. So aside from the audio, the video, you also have data. So Jack Dorsey's tweet from Twitter was sold for $2.9 million as an NFT. Why is this interesting? Why would anyone buy a tweet from Twitter and call it art? Well, there's a lot of value in Twitter that I personally see. We have some of the greatest CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs. We have so many intelligent people on Twitter that I always try and recommend people to get one, because it is not, let's look at pictures, let's get all these random entertainment nonsense. There's a lot of great opportunities and knowledge being shared on Twitter. Reddit as well. But Twitter is very interesting because it allows so many people to collect and connect. So it's 2.9 million. If I would pay for it, no, I wouldn't pay for it. But I can see that someone may have value because I know the content shared on Twitter can potentially make you more than those 2.9 million that were paid. So it's super, super interesting how things are working. That's why I say data is so important. Data is being hoarded by Google, Facebook, and all these large tech giants. So if you don't value your data, there will be someone that values it for you, and they will put a price tag in it. They would put a price tag on it and sell it. So I definitely recommend you always try and stay ahead of the game. Your data has a lot of value that people aren't aware of. So instead of using the normal Chrome browser or Internet Explorer, I actually use the Brave browser, which is what I'm currently using right now. And it also runs with cryptocurrency. So rather than getting like ads randomly and stuff like that, it allows you to either opt in or opt out of that feature when you surf the web. Now, if you opt in, you actually get paid in cryptocurrency, which is very interesting because before you got a free browser, but all your data was being tracked. Where you go, what you do, what you're interacting with. And to me, I don't like that. I don't like being tracked. I see that as a form of control, as a form of kind of manipulation in a way. But not to digress, Brave browser is a really good browser, so I recommend anyone who is into like security or privacy to check it out. But they are also interchangeable with like NFTs and other types of tokens and cryptocurrency. So in short, NFTs have a lot of potential. They can function as different types of mediums, and it is so new. People are still trying to figure out what you can do with it. And if you're a creator, game developer, designer, artist, it's definitely something you want to check out. So thank you guys for staying tuned today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week.